Hello ladies and gentlemen, so this is going to be mostly, I want to say an uncut video, but we'll see what happens, of a video of how I make my MyGM experience a little bit more enjoyable, at least in this game, WWE 2K24. I'm picking basically any general manager in any show to use right now, just to kind of show off a example draft. So first of all, AI difficulty, doesn't really matter to me as long as it's got at least 2 mid-card matches instead of 1, so I usually make it at least on normal. AI difficulty, doesn't really matter, but I do like to make the budget as high as possible because I do want to have as many wrestlers as possible. Now here's the kicker, here's where it gets interesting, and here's why I have a good GM mode, because my draft pool is customized for everyone to be 50 popularity and everyone to have the same class, which is specialist. Now, I'll explain why I do that. And I also change this to classic so that, because I don't want to start with a few matches. So, yeah, and I do my own draft. So, I'm going to do a little sample draft with whatever the game gives me. And yeah, we'll see what happens. The only thing is that sometimes the draft kind of generates like a lot of faces over heels. That's kind of what I'm seeing here, so I'm gonna balance that the best that I can do. So here's how I'm gonna do this, right? What I'm gonna do is it's kind of like a little bit of a hack. If you customize your draft thing to the best of your ability, a good thing to do is maybe to start with the people that have the most stamina. So in this case, people with stamina levels like 90 in the late 80s, if you start off with people that have really high stamina and only draft people with really high stamina, you could start off doing some really big match types. Like I can go ahead and draft Lexus King over here. That is a created wrestler for me. And I usually, like, when I go through these drafts, I like to draft faces and heels. So in my case, I'll draft 2 male superstars, face and heel, and then I'm going to go over to the women and I'm going to do the exact same thing. Like, we'll get heel Liv Morgan over here, and then the game will pick Kurt Angle, so that's cool, and then we'll find a face. So obviously Rhea Ripley would be a solid choice, but I'm also looking at money. I'm looking at money and stamina. So I'm picking Lyra Valkyria here, and basically, I want to try to save as much money as possible and see what I can do. I just want to get the best stamina because I set everyone with the same exact popularity. So, I'm looking for people that are under like $200,000 here. So, I'll go with Cora Jade because her stamina is above 80, so that's pretty good. I will say that I don't believe that stamina really matters too much once you get into the late game. So, I'm going to go with Tegan Knox, and then we're gonna draft some more male wrestlers, a heel and a face. So I'm gonna go with, $282,000 is a lot of money. So I'm gonna go with, let's see, someone like Dragon Lee, and then we're gonna go with another heel. And so I like to basically just divide it up with an even amount of faces and heels. And I try to pick the people with the highest stamina to get going. So in this case, I need a heel. So I'm gonna go with. So I have this. Okay, so The Rock over here is $200,000, which I usually don't pick. But since he's this cheap and he's The Rock, I'm gonna go with this pick. Now, the game is actually way like they only have like $1 million left. So and we have way more. So I'm gonna keep looking. I'm gonna keep looking into the high stamina. Like we got Wendy Chu over here. So, and I believe she's a heel. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick a face. You can do someone like Kaden Carter. The money, I feel like the money kind of is a little bit randomized. There isn't really like a fixed thing with it. So I kind of find that a little bit weird. And I kind of wish that it was structured a bit differently. But we're just going to go with what we have. So Tony D'Angelo is a nice face to have, and then we can have another heel on the roster. And usually I think the game stops at 12 wrestlers. And in our case, we can kind of continue. We're at $1.2 million while the game only has 100,000. So, and so yeah, they stopped, and we could continue maybe like 2 more. We have like an even amount. Yeah, we have 12 wrestlers here, so maybe we can take wrestlers that don't cost too much money or something. Like I'm gonna go with maybe Ricochet, and then maybe one more heel. Let's see. We'll go with one more heel. Okay, Sheamus. Oh, I have Sheamus 08, that's why. So yeah, I just did my own customized roster, and as you can see, there is a massive difference within stamina. So I have a lot more leeway in the match types that I do within the beginning of the show. So, and I also have a little bit more wrestlers to choose from. So I like that. This is the same messages you get all the time. And then this is where you pick your champions. In this case, again, doesn't even really matter. You just pick which one you want to have the most popularity. I'll team up The Rock with Lexus King. So, and then we can go over here, give this one to Liv Morgan, and then give this to Tegan Knox and Tamina. I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, and then you get these cool cards. Now, I mean, obviously, when I picked the show, it wasn't really thought through or detailed in any way, but I mean, this is basically what I do to make my show more enjoyable. And so now we got a couple of 60 popularity over here. The thing is, with MyGM, I wanted to be able to pick whoever I wanted. So I'm looking at this, and I already see some wrestlers I would totally draft. So Sasha Banks is on here already. 57,000 for 5 weeks, or if I wanted to completely sign her, it would be, let's see, if it's under $200,000. Okay, it's just barely over. So we could sign her for like 20 weeks. And we would still get like, it would still be good. Now, I don't really want to spend money on researching people. Now, as far as doing everything else here, I don't really know what to do first because I haven't really touched this mode all that much. But when I have, you know, I've had fun with it. But usually when I have all this money, like all this money left over, all this money remaining, I do purchase pretty much as many of the cards as I possibly could, and then maybe try to use one right at the very beginning. So yeah, and I mean, as far as the matches go, I mean, since my stamina is very, very high, I feel like I can go ahead and, if I wanted to put on a massive match, like an ambulance match, I can win. Or I can win the entire thing. But that's basically what I do to make my MyGM more fun. Feel free to copy my method of the popularity. It just takes a while to do. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.